Here's the world of imagination, hopes, and dreams. In this timeless land of enchantment, the age of chivalry, magic, and make-believe are reborn, and fairy tales come true. Fantasyland is dedicated to the young and the young in heart, to those who believe that when you wish upon a star, your dreams do come true.
Disneyland's heart has always been Fantasyland. From the very beginning, it's things that you could only dream about and only see on celluloid are real here. You sail out of that child's bedroom window. You're not Peter Pan, but you're getting to do everything that these characters did in the film.
It's a place where any dream can come true, and where our guests and our children are able to live out their fantasies and see fairy tales in action.
If you look at old renderings that Herbie Ryman and John Hench did of the castle, they obviously wanted it to have a little bit of a Fantasyland look, not just in back in the courtyard, but in the front too. So the opportunity to finally do that and bring some more of the newer classics and the Fantasyland look to the front of the castle now is really wonderful.
I think our guests really feel a really deep level of connection to this place, which kind of goes back to, the storytelling. And Fantasy Faire is going to give them that place where they can come and take that fantasy of theirs to a higher level.
We're adding on to the roots of, what is the seed of that magic that's associated with that castle.
When you walk into Fantasy Faire, you're walking into a medieval town.
The guests are going to step into a new world. They're going to step into a Renaissance fair of sorts that is based on Disney folklore.
I think our guests are going to be amazed at how great the architecture looks and how it's just such a wonderful extension of Fantasyland and the castle.
Within the beautiful setting that we create, there's a lot of Disney touches that we have put into it. At the center of our square is Rapunzel's Tower from the movie Tangled. Another nice detail we'll have is the Festival Fools, which is basically a very big music box. And when you look inside the window, you will see a scene made out of painted flats that shows Clopin, a great character from our movie The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Kids can come up and get a little experience of medieval music box type thing, so they can crank the handle and get a little music play.
I think it will be really charming, little interactive, but done in a very old world kind of way.
Maurice's Treats is a food cart that's an homage to Belle's father. He's sort of this wacky inventor who's assembled this almost discombobulated cart, but somehow has managed to stick together.
Food that we will sell there also has some twisted bread rolls and kind of Dole Whip drinks that he came up with.
Meeting the princesses is the absolute encounter. Little girls look up to them as role models. Fantasy Faire was conceived with the idea in mind that we would now provide them a suitable royal home, merely a stone's throw from the castle.
The princesses, I think, enshrine what is best and most hopeful in all of us. They believe that even in a world full of shadows, that light will ultimately triumph, that good ultimately triumphs over evil. That is their simplest story, and that touches a very deep and hopeful place in all of our hearts.
For me, a princess isn't so much a girl that's waiting to be saved by her prince. A princess is a young lady that creates her own way. Each princess has a story that is transitional to every generation.
Fantasy Faire gives us a chance to tell old stories in new ways and to tell new stories in new ways.
Our guests will meet our princesses in what is called the Royal Hall.
This is an immersive experience for you to go and meet the princesses in their environment. You just get to get a better view of them as if they're living inside their castle and you're part of their world.
This is really just a whole new experience on a different level for the guests to get that special photo and memory to take home. So I'm really excited for them to have that opportunity.
We wanted to broaden it and make an area that not just the small children that love meeting our princesses can enjoy it, but Fantasy Faire is so beautiful and so exquisite. I think that there'll be a lot of things for people to do. We have great shows and they can be participated in by everyone.
in our rural theater. We have two very charming and enchanting shows. One of it is Beauty and the Beast, and the other show is with Rapunzel and Flynn, and I think there will be great attractions to be added to Disneyland.
I remember coming here as a 4-year-old child and just loving everything about it. That immersive feeling of becoming part of this three-dimensional world of fantasy and tomorrow and adventure. That immersiveness of Disneyland, that ability to transport a guest into any of these worlds really influenced my first a desire and then ability to tell a story. So as we reviewed the source materials of Beauty and the Beast and Tangled, what really touched me was the journey that our main characters took. The Beast had a lesson to learn, and he takes a journey to learn his lesson and becomes a changed person. Same with Belle. She was a young lady looking for adventure. She finds adventure, but with that adventure she finds true love. And you could say the same things with Tangled. I would love for our guests to walk away from these little shows feeling inspired, to be a little kinder, to be a little more adventurous, to be willing to fall in love and create something that might touch the heart of a guest in the same way that my heart was touched as a kid.
Storytelling's always been the heart of every experience at our parks. We're really excited to be able to reopen the Fantasyland Theater and bring Mickey and the Magical Map to life there.
Our main character is Mickey Mouse, and he's going to take us on a fabulous journey through this magical map.
The theme of the show is really about imagination and the power of your imagination, and I hope that people walk out of the show being reminded that their imagination is such an important part of who they are and what they can be and how it drives who we want to become in our lives.
I have to say this is one of the most exciting projects I've ever done, and I think it is because I believe that Fantasyland is the enshrining place for our innocence. It is the essence of childhood dreams and Disney storytelling. It is the home of the most beloved of our Disney characters. It is probably the purest footprint that we have to tell Disney stories.
I think this one in particular has so much more significance for me than what I've worked on before, because to go through the parks and to kind of see the father and daughters walk through there and kind of, you know, hug them and just be so happy to be there, and especially when the father gets to see them go up to the princess for the first time. I've always kind of wanted to have that feeling, and just last year my wife had our first daughter. Her name is Isabel, but the interesting thing was my wife is in love with Belle. I mean, she loves Belle, princess, so much, and you know, as we passed through all these different names, she said, you know, I don't want to call her Bella or call her, you know, a nickname of any other sort other than Belle. To actually have her be in line with me, run up there, be her first princess, and kind of be a part of that whole fairy tale, you know, it's going to be amazing. And to look at it, her smile and say, you know, I kind of had a little part in that. That's going to be all worth it.
People come to Disneyland to be inspired, and to me, being inspired and having the ability to inspire is one of the greatest things that you could ever do for someone else or for yourself.
You know, there's a great Disney quote that I think has fed the vision of this land beautifully, and it is this: while there is very little grown-up in a child, there is still a lot of child in every grown-up. So call it innocence or belief in dreams coming true. That thing that we can touch in our guests, regardless of age, culture, ethnicity, that is the essence of what we are trying to accomplish with Fantasy Faire.
I like it.